Okay, this is easy homemade sticky buns. First things first, the ingredients you need are brown sugar, cinnamon.
Well, don't flap it around like that. Okay.
A little bit of butter.
There's the brown sugar, which you sort of waved. Okay. Butter.
And frozen roll dough. Not bread dough, roll dough.
What? Leave it there. Frozen. You said before you said it was a pound.
It was 1 pound of frozen roll dough. We'll make a dozen sticky buns. Okay? First thing you do is prepare the pan. You can grease the pan with anything you want. I always spray it. So here's the spray. This pan is a bakery pan and is an odd size. It's 8.5 by 7.5 inches. An 8-inch square glass pan will work just as well, or an 8-inch square metal pan. Okay, spray it. Put a fair coating of brown sugar on the bottom. And a couple of dabs of butter. No particular amount, just a little bit so that there's some shortening in the glaze when it cooks.
What you have there is 1 tablespoon.
Just spread around. It'll all melt together anyway, but spread it about. Okay, pan's ready to go. We'll have to put a little water in it before we start. Perhaps a tablespoon of water or a bit more. Now, you open the rolls. These rolls have been thawing for some time, so they're now at about room temperature, but they really haven't started to rise. Take them all out of the pack. And knead them together a little bit. Might need a little flour on the bench. All I'm doing is incorporating the little pieces into one mass. Okay. Now, take my rolling pin. And what I'm going to try to do is get a piece of dough about a foot long or a little longer and as wide as I can make it. It's getting close. Okay. Now, give it a good dosing of cinnamon up toward the top of it, because you want to be able to seal it at the bottom. And a collection of brown sugar.
How much cinnamon do you think that is?
That's a lot. But the cinnamon is what makes them sticky buns. And enough brown sugar so that there we go. And then roll. And I always roll from the top to me. People roll different ways. You roll it over and try to incorporate the sugar. And roll it into a fairly nice snake. Here. And then you got to cut it. And you can cut it with all kinds of different tools. Knife's as good as any. I'd square it off at the end and then cut off 12 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to get 10 out of this one because I made them a little bit too fat. So that's all right.
I think you made it a little too thin if you got more than you wanted.
There. And then put them in the pan face up. If you had a dozen, you go 4 by 3, but I'll have to fudge a little. We'll put 4 in this one. There.
It's coming open.
You'll have this. Now we just let this rise. Cover it with a cloth and let it rise for about an hour or so. About half an hour in, I turn the oven on to 400 degrees. And we'll come back and look at it in an hour and see how it looks. This is part 2 of this operation. It's been about an hour or so. Been covered up here on top. The oven is hot. There's what they look like. And now I'm going to put them in the oven. About the middle. And it should take something like 10 minutes or so for them to bake. So we'll check that out. We'll come back and do that when the time. Okay, there's a pan to put the buns out on when they come out, because they should be dumped pretty promptly when they come out. Let them sit for a minute or so and then turn them over. So here we go. See what they look like. They're nice and brown. I think they're probably done. Let it set just for a moment so the sticky part gets to set up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Take them over to the pan and
Wait a minute.
dump them out.
Well, I couldn't see it.
And there they are. Pan of sticky buns. If you got too much sticky and it all runs off, sometimes you get a little too much water in it and it runs off. You pick it up with a spoon and put it back. It'll set up and get thicker with time. This one I hit pretty closely, and so there's not a whole lot of stuff running off. But there it is. So that's how you make sticky buns out of roll dough.